EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Hi there, and welcome. Hey. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying springtime and Easter behind us, but I'm very sorry. No sooner did Easter end when the Pope died, Pope Francis, and I feel really terrible about it, but I'm glad he made it through Easter and wished everybody the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got to tell you, there is one thing that I did not like about it. For the last easily 5 or 6 weeks, maybe more, I didn't totally keep track of it, he was suffering from double pneumonia. Double pneumonia means that you have multiple bacteria and possibly viral causing pneumonia, and you don't know what to treat first, so they give you broad spectrum antibiotics. But I've got to tell you something that most people do not realize. Pneumococcal, and they have bacteria, and they have several strains of this basic pneumococcus. They have multiple strains, and we do not have antibiotics for most of them. We do other forms of bacteria, but pneumococcal bacteria is very strong, very potent, and the most we seem to be able to do with it is give them other antibiotics where it slows them down, may even put them in remission for a few days so that you feel better, but it does not destroy and get rid of the pneumococcal bacteria. And people should know that. We have antibiotics for everything else. We have antibiotics when we have surgery so we won't get infections. All kinds of bacteria, but not the pneumococcal varieties, and certainly not all the strains. We can influence them, but rarely can we ever get rid of that strain once you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone should know that. But we do have an anti-vaccine that will prevent you from even getting pneumococcal pneumonias. And that is called Prevnar. It's now Prevnar 20. It used to be Prevnar 13. But both types of vaccines have preventive vaccine ability to prevent any pneumococcal infections. Not cure it once you get it, but prevent you from getting it in the first place. And I highly recommend that for all adult ages, 25 or 30 on up, more important as you get older. Certainly the 40s and 50s and 60s, you should get that vaccine. It doesn't have side effects at all on like 99% of the population, unless you're allergic to seafood, peanuts, everything, milk products, everything all at once. Then consult your doctor whether you should be a candidate. But if you're not allergic to all those varieties combined, which less than 1% of our population is, it is very, very safe. Very safe. and without side effects. And it's a single vaccine. You don't have to go back and have it twice or more like you did with the COVID. It's a one-time vaccine, and that's the end of it. And I hate to tell you how many older friends of mine have died just of that. They went in the hospital for liver surgery, heart valve surgery, and for whatever reason had complications because many of their vessels were clogged, and ended up staying in the hospital a month or more. And guess what they end up getting? Pneumococcal pneumonia. And yes, that killed them. You can prevent all that. Almost every single one of us can prevent that if you just get the vaccine. And one of the terrible feelings that I had when the Pope died, I'm thinking of the last 5 or 6 weeks when he had double pneumonia, had trouble breathing at times, every single breath he took, and they tried to sedate him and put him to sleep so he wouldn't be conscious of the suffering. But when you have pneumonia and you're fighting for every breath, whether conscious or unconscious, it is probably the worst form of suffering there is. Mm-hmm. And may we all not have to go through it. Mm-hmm. Many people die very suddenly or die in their sleep of kidney failure or other. When I say suddenly, it's usually the heart stopping and you're nowhere near a hospital. But there are many forms where you don't need to fear it, where it is a very quick and sudden process. But when you have pneumonia, you can go months and weeks until you've just had enough of it and you give up. That is a horrible way of dying. And I'm bringing to you that it is thoroughly, in this case, 99% or more preventable. Just get the vaccine for pneumococcal bacteria, which includes other lung diseases and bacterial diseases also. I learned about it firsthand about 25 years ago. The church I attend in Vero Beach gave free pneumonia vaccines. At that time, they didn't have Prevnar 13 and Prevnar 20. They gave a variety, all-in-one vaccine of pneumococcal and other bacterial agents that cause pneumonia. And it was for free. And after church, whether you had old enough to have Medicare, Medicaid or not, or had no insurance or private insurance, it doesn't matter. They would give you the vaccines for free. That was 25 years ago, and that, to this day, I think of it as yesterday. It was one of the smartest things that I did, staying after church and getting that vaccine. And guess what? I haven't even had any form of pneumonia since then. And I think I had, between the last 25 years, I've only even had a head cold once. When I went up to New York, upstate New York, and was skiing after leaving 90-degree weather down here, that did it. I got a cold. And I've never gotten one since. I haven't gotten it from people from up north who come down and vacation and visit. Even my grandson and his mother and father came 3 weeks ago. They didn't feel quite right, but they were okay. They went swimming and sunbathing and fishing and all of that. And when they got home, they found out they had the flu A strain. And my husband and I, we never caught it. We don't hug and kiss them right and left, but we certainly hugged and kissed them hello and goodbye and that type of thing. We never caught it. And I am very, very thankful after getting these bacterial vaccines. Some of them may not have been fully tested, like especially viral vaccines, we are not very good at for the most part. But the bacteria, we know everything about. We know how to grow them. We know how to diagnose them. It's just some of the bacteria, like this one, the pneumococcal bacteria, we don't have an antibiotic for, but we do have a vaccine for. So there's no reason scores of people need to catch this.
That seems like, Martha, kind of a weird thing that you can prevent it, but you can't cure it.
It sure is weird.
You know
and
what I mean?
I don't fully understand it.
I mean, I'm not a scientist or a doctor or anything, but it just seems kind of odd. Maybe it's a certain way they go about it before they actually can prevent it. I don't know. I mean, actually cure it.
They're on the edge of preventing it.
Okay.
They can slow it down. They can almost put it in hibernation, like we do cancer, which is mostly viral. And but when just like cancer, we can't totally cure it. We can prolong life, we can treat it, as they say, but we can't, right as I speak, we cannot get rid of most forms.
Yeah.
Some forms we do, but not all forms of cancer. But we're getting close to it, on the verge.
Yeah, we are.
And I certainly hope that applies to the pneumococcal bacteria also.
But every what am I trying to think? Lung infection and pneumonia is not pneumococcal.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay,
No.
so there's other kinds of pneumonia. That's like one of the most virulent ones?
That's, the steadfast, virulent is the right word. It's very, very resistant.
Okay.
I think a long time ago, for me, that's like a couple of years, there was this lady that was almost like a woman Tarzan. She went down all these different lines in the jungle, and she got injured on one of those events where her skin was really broken open in a number of places. I guess it was scratched. And she ended up dying when she got home, like 2 weeks later. That is a strain of pneumococcal pneumonia, because we couldn't totally get rid of it.
Okay.
And it's rare. It's not the common form of pneumonia, thank God.
Okay.
Or people would be dying right and left.
Okay.
But it does exist. And I hate to tell you, but it's true. When people have different kinds of surgeries, I'm not going to say routine or easy surgeries. What we call a major surgery is maybe routine for some of the doctors. But if people have complications and they're in the hospital more than a week or two, there's the big fear of getting that. Also, that virus, the RSV virus, too.
Right, yeah.
They seem to hang out in hospitals, nursing homes, and big treatment centers where people are under the weather. And that's the biggest reason when they're trying to make more than 50% of the surgeries they do almost outpatient. If they'd keep you overnight at the most, or maybe just keep you for 8 hours after the surgery, they send all people home so they don't catch pneumonias or other bugs in the hospitals. Even it doesn't matter the kind of insurance that you have, whether it's extra good, whether it's minimal, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, it doesn't matter. They're trying to make all rooms private rooms in the hospital just to help prevent infections of any kind. When I was growing up, more than half the patients in the hospital were in what we call wards,
Right.
with curtains around 6 or 8 or 10 different beds, and everybody could hear each other talking or crying or yelling, and it was not pleasant but very, very few people got a private room. Well, that has all changed because they want to reduce and eliminate infections, not make hospitals the center where you catch everything. And it has worked, and it's but it hasn't totally worked. The longer you're in the hospital, the more some of these bad viruses and bacterias seem to be in the air, even when you're in private room.
Yeah.
Almost all hospitals have closed windows and AC. It's not open to the outside. That's good in some ways, but bad in other ways, because if there's an infectious bacteria, it gets all around the hospital where it may not have even started there. It may have started in the emergency room or somewhere else, but with a closed ventilation system, you run the risk of it being all over. So that's very, very sad. But I can't mention it and be strong enough. Please get the Prevnar 20 vaccine. It doesn't have side effects for 90+% of the people. It's very easy. Publix will give it to you. And it breaks my heart to see people suffer before their death with so much pneumonia and fighting for every breath and wanting to stay alive. And literally every 5 seconds seems like an eternity. Please, may we not have people suffer like that the way the Pope did. Yes, they give them sedatives, make them go to sleep for 20 hours out of 24 hours a day, but that's not good either, and it's not making him overwhelmingly comfortable. I prayed and prayed that he either get totally better or pass away, which unfortunately is what happened. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're also the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a spring sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Mini golf means max fun. Sunset Rotary Club presents Just Putzin' Around, sponsored by Millennium Cremation Service. Dinner served, prizes awarded, all for charity. Just Putzin' Around, Thursday, May 1st at Big Shots. Call 610-301-4879. Sturgis Lumber is more than just lumber. Timber! Residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Sturgis has all of the hardware to help with your project. Visit SturgisLumber.com. 4 generations strong, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. More than just lumber.
Before she was a legend, she was just a girl with a dream. Beautiful. The Carole King musical tells the incredible true story of a young songwriter who found her voice and changed music forever. The passion and the triumph of a woman who shaped a generation. Don't miss Beautiful, the feel-good musical, now playing at Vero's beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Hi, and welcome back. I know this wasn't a pleasant topic for you today, and the day after Easter of all times, which is very, very beautiful, and also this year it coincides with Passover, which is also a very beautiful time. So that I don't want to distract from the beauty and the pleasantries of Easter, Passover, and definitely spring weather coming our way. Those are all beautiful things. But please, let's make our lives a little more beautiful, and all I'm asking you is as a preventive, so you don't need to die of pneumonias where you're fighting every little breath, whether you're 30 years old in a car accident or whether you're elderly and you could die any time, and everyone in between. Please get that vaccine, the Prevnar vaccine 20. Just one shot, not 2 shots. You just get 1 shot, and that is all you need. Very, very, almost no reaction to it whatsoever. And once and for all, and eliminate having to worry about getting pneumonia any time in your lifetime. That is so great. It's a type of major suffering that can be prevented from all of us. And even if you die of cancer, you don't have to die of pneumonia, which has the most suffering. All I ask is please do it. and you will make your family members as well as yourself much happier. Have a great week.